Welcome back to the Run Dusty Run podcast, where runners from all over the world share their stories and running journeys. Along the way, we hope you'll be inspired, encouraged, and that community will be built. Today, we have a very special guest rejoining us, Sergio Martinez. Sergio is the founder and creator of Running Culture, the running club in Dodge City, Kansas. He's had a very, very busy summer. Not the least of which included launching his own 5K through Running Culture, the local whiskey run here in town. And so, Sergio, welcome back to the podcast, man.
Hey, what's up, Dusty? Well, thank you for having me back, man. I hope much better than last time.
We've been man. You did great, and we're thrilled to have you back, and we appreciate your willingness to carve out some time for us. Sergio, we know that it's been a very busy summer, and lots of exciting things going on with Running Culture and the whiskey run and just other 5Ks that you and your crew have been a part of, and just really just created a very unique vibe, and it's so incredible. And so we're going to get to all that in a second. But first, you know the drill. We've got to ask you some icebreaker questions here. We're back with some new icebreaker questions, actually. So first question to you, what is the biggest ick to you in the running community?
The biggest ick for me would be, I think it would be people saying they don't like running when they ain't even tried it yet. I think that's probably the worst.
Yeah.
Because, man, most of the time they end up loving it. They end up loving running, man. It's just putting yourself out there and joining a group, or even just enjoying a nice day and going for a run, and then you'll see the excitement you get out of it. Yeah, I just hate when people say, I don't like it, it's not for me. And most of the runners that are with me or that have ran with me, usually that's the first thing they say. I'm like, man, come give it a try. And they come give it a try, end up falling in love with it, and be your best runners out there.
Absolutely, man. Weirdest thing that you've ever seen during a run?
Weirdest thing I ever seen during a run. Man, that's a good one. Caught me off guard. Man, you caught me off guard on that one. The weirdest thing I've seen. I mean, it might be a little disgusting, but I've seen people just pull off to the side and just take care of business, take care of their business there. I mean, they... You know, with the run, you just never know. It'll creep up on you and it'll betray you. And
that's right.
I see people just pull off to the side of the road and take care of business and keep on moving. It might be, to some people, It's weird. I guess for us, it's been so common that, I mean, it's just a normal thing. But you'd be amazed with what these runners do out there.
Yeah, man. It's hard to lock into your own run when somebody's off to the side blowing chunks, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
If you could run if you could only run in one state, you were only allowed to run in one state for the rest of your life, which one would you choose and why?
I've never ran there, but I've seen a lot of videos, and I think it would be Oregon. Just the beauty of Oregon, the green, just the atmosphere. I mean, I've just heard Oregon's a whole different environment. I just like the scenery of it, But I think it'd be Oregon. I'm going to have to get out there one day.
Right on, man. Right on. If you were only able to listen to one song for an entire marathon, but you had to listen to that same song for the entire marathon, what song is Sergio Martinez listened to?
Man, that's a good one. I would say it'd be what's that song called? The Rocky Balboa one?
Oh,
man,
okay. Yeah.
Man, what is it called? I don't know the name of the song, but it just gets you going. It takes you back to that movie, and there's no giving up after that. So I think that would be the one. That'll be the Red Bull of my run.
All right, man. All right. Now, we're going to add something. We've added a new wrinkle to the podcast.
Okay,
let's call This or That. This is going to be lightning quick, man. We got 30 seconds to complete. Looks like we got 12 of them, okay? So it's this or that. It's just one or the other. No thoughts. Just let it rip, man. We're going to have some fun. Morning run or evening run?
Morning run.
Hills or speed work?
Hills.
Rain or wind?
Rain.
Treadmill or 108 degree like today, Kansas heat?
108 degree.
Coffee before the run or after the run?
Before the run.
Marathon medal or marathon shirt?
Marathon medal.
Finish fast or look good in race photos?
Yeah, look good.
All right. This one's a loaded question. Podcast or music while running? But it's our podcast.
Podcast.
There we go. All right, two more. Short shorts or long shorts?
Mid shorts. Short shorts.
All right. Marathon. Last question right here, man. I think we're going to call it good under 30 seconds here. Would you rather wait in a porta potty line before the race or have a mile 20 emergency?
Mile 20.
All right, man. You did it. Thanks for being a good sport, Sergio. Appreciate it, brother. That wasn't fair. I put some extra on you there.
Yeah. That was a tough one.
All right, man. So let's get down to business today. It's been a very busy summer for you, I know, and for Running Culture as a whole. You guys have just absolutely knocked it out of the park. Kind of want to hit rewind here. I know we've had several local big 5Ks lately, and I know you and your crew just participated in one just a couple days ago. But let's go back to the whiskey run, your involvement, your coordination, and really just the way that you created an amazing race where we saw over 400, I think, different runners in a 5K,
Yes,
a new course to town, just sort of a new element altogether. I mean, it was a party from start to finish. Afterwards, there were people hanging around, just eating, listening to music, having a good time, like just good, healthy fun, man. Take us back to the beginning of that day. If you remember, like from the time you woke up until the time you went home, what did the day of the whiskey run look like for Sergio Martinez?
the day of the whiskey run, man. I mean, if we slept any, it probably was 2 hours or 3, but that's on and off. But man, I woke up, took a deep breath, thanked the Lord, and got to it, you know? I guess I just visioned it one way and I wrote it out that way. Woke up, got things ready, went out and double sprinted my 5K trail just because, you know, if one runner goes off task, it's a bad run for everyone, including myself. I think that's
Right
what I was
on.
more worried about. I went out, rock shocked everything. After Andrew and Lencho, they went out the night before and did it themselves. But it's not that I didn't trust them. It's just, you know, 100% clarity. I had to go out there and do it again.
Yeah.
But I think that was my main thing in the morning. Make sure my route was on point and make sure no one else went the wrong direction. We did that, met up with Flex Fitness, the girls at Flex Fitness, and they were on it too. They kept me on my toes, so I couldn't slack at all. Went out there, met with Alex and all them, and you know, them were I would like to say the OGs of running. And man, I felt I would say I felt little against them, you know, just because, man, they know so much and they're so prepared. And I was like, man, I'm so unprepared, thinking I was prepared, you know. And when we went out there, you know, we still had a lot of people show up from out of town that showed up really early just to sign up because they knew we were running out of bids. I believe we printed out 400 bibs and we ran out of, I think that morning we only had 15 left. So after that, people were running just to run. But man, it started off, man, did a prayer, we got on it, like I said, we drew our route, got together. Man, it was up and down. I mean, we prepped for like 3 hours and them 3 hours flew. By the time I knew it, the shotgun had rang and people were running. I was just trying to make sure, I think my most worry was trying to ensure everybody had a good time and everybody was enjoying it, you know? People that were helping me and people that were running. I just wanted everybody to have a good time. It was important for me. I think that was my main perspective.
Yeah, man, no doubt. The vibe there was almost indescribable, especially for a 5K. I mean, I know one of the things, you know, when you came on the podcast early on several months ago, I remember you sort of sharing the vision that like you wanted to create something that had you want people to experience that marathon finish line feel. And unless you experience that, it's almost hard to describe. But man, you did such an awesome job, you and your crew, of really encapsulating that, you know, in the framework of a 5K here in town. And it was so amazing to see so many people get to have that experience of, man, what it really looks like to have that big race finish. I know it was an incredible time. And from the beginning, man, from the time I got there, you know, setting up, you all were hospitable enough to let me set up a stand for the podcast and to give some stuff away. Man, just the vibe was indescribable. People from all walks of life there. I remember, I mean, gosh, the drones and the interviews beforehand just taking place, and then just seeing so many people get excited, the crowd support. So, I mean, you absolutely were on point with that big race finish feel. Now, that course was no joke, man. It was fun. It was a little different. There were some similarities to some other local 5Ks that we've had here, but that course was no joke, bro. Coming up to finish up that hill by Boot Hill. I mean, like that, it was only, you know, wasn't very long in distance, but man, that was a steep incline. And so if you got that medal, man, you earned it coming up that hill.
Yeah, you definitely
it got
earned
hot. That sun was beating down and that course was no joke. But man, what a fantastic environment. What a fantastic finish.
Thank you.
I mean, you had all kinds of vendors there. Tell us a little bit about what all was involved there in terms of what people who ran the whiskey run experienced when they finished with all the vendors, and maybe what they have to look forward to next year.
Well, I mean, let's start off with the route. The route was a tough one. It was a tough one. I mean, I ran it myself. Me and some guys ran it, and they even said it was tough. And man, I was a little scared people weren't going to sign up for the route, but I think it just created a challenge that everybody wanted, you know? It created a challenge that everybody wanted, and everybody hyped up the next person next to them. And it was just like, if you do it, I do it type thing. And a challenge is always good for everyone.
Right.
You know, it's not the same
Yes.
route. It's different. It was really challenging, and I think that's the part people loved. And you'll be amazed how many people PR'd. Like I tell everybody, it's on the head. If you tell yourself you're gonna do something,
Yeah.
and trust me, you'll be capable of doing that something. I think that's the main thing about it. And
Yeah.
the hills, man, the last hill. I agree. It was a dangerous hill, but everybody, man, you should have seen the pictures. Everybody, you seen someone lending someone else a hand, someone cheering someone else,
Yeah.
and most of the time everybody's a stranger, and the stranger helping a stranger is the best thing you could get out of a run. You know, you feel that energy, you feel committed to them, and I think it's a beauty. That's the beauty of running.
No, so I remember as we sort of came down by the museum and we knew we were getting close. We were sort of circling the finish line and before that great big hill and before you turn right to go downhill a little bit into the finish line, you could hear the noise, you could hear the music, you could hear people calling names out and just people who had already finished. I mean, some of the more elite runners who had already finished, instead of going off doing their own thing, man, they stuck around to cheer everybody on as they finished. And man, just an incredible, indescribable vibe.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just the energy. Everybody's energy was matching, and like you said, that's always been my goal, having a marathon experience, even in a 5K, you know? I want everybody to be able to enjoy a run, not hate a run, be able to finish and still conversate about their run, conversate about their PR, you know, enjoy a coffee by a little business that someone is trying to bring up, you know, a lemonade, you know, protein cakes, everything, you know, just food, you know? Thankfully, my parents, they were able to cook the food and everybody loved it and everybody was just vibing. The music was there. You know, you, Dusty, thank you for coming out and supporting and helping as well. That was a big plus. It just brought the community together. Chiropractors were out there. That's what you do in a marathon, you know?
Yeah.
Everybody has their drinks. Supporting little businesses, just being around anybody and everybody. I think that was the most important part for me. Just everybody being able to click.
Yeah, man, it was such an encouragement. I know Danielle was rejoined the podcast again this past week, and one of the things we talked about, and it was very evident with the whiskey run. And again, maybe we should probably clarify why it was called the whiskey run, and we can do that here in a second. But what was interesting is several months ago, you know, there was concern that like, hey man, like are the local community officials gonna hop on this huge explosion of interest of running in the community? And you know, in the beginning, you know, just even as recently as last year, it was maybe hard to get community officials at times maybe completely on board with what was going on, and I know that it was a concern that had been expressed, but man, something has happened. And just to see the community as a whole, I mean, everyone, like small businesses, local law enforcement, you know, small independent businesses, established businesses, all joining together for what really felt like just a day of celebration. And the race was just sort of like the icing on the cake, man. I mean, I've ran in a few marathons now, and I can tell you, man, at none of them were there amazing street tacos at the finish or gourmet lemonade and protein cakes and you know. And so, man, it was just really cool to see what felt like the community coming together from all different walks of life to make it just a great day. I like when I think of that day, man, it just makes me smile.
Yeah, trust me. Imagine how I feel, man. I didn't cheer up there just because there was too many people, but yeah, Danielle, she pushed me, man. I would say she believed in me, man. She said, we're going to have 400 runners.
Yeah.
I said, man, 200, I think 200 at the most. And man, she made me believe I could make it happen, and I made it happen. We made it happen, you know? Yeah. Runners is crazy for a first event that no one's been to. I think everything just clicked. The energy was there, and thankfully it went great from beginning to end. Once the last runner walked in, and I was like, man, I could breathe now, you know? I said, I could breathe now.
Yeah,
now
it
I
was
could
awesome,
enjoy
man.
it. Danielle kept wanting me to run it. I'm like, Danielle, trust me, I want to run it, but if something goes wrong, I'm going to blame myself for not being there and be able to change it up. You know, she's like, this is your first official 5K that you're doing. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'd rather the people have a good time than me run this run today. And I think that's what it's about. You know, I just care so much about the people. I guess I've been taken care of real well in my marathons that I wanted people to be taken care of and have no problems.
Yeah, man. And that was super clear to see. I think it's so cool that you, I think it's a mark of your humility and your leadership, just being willing to surround yourself with people who have done it before, who know what they're doing. And Danielle and the girls, and I know Buck and Ray, man, they don't play when it comes to this stuff. They know what they're doing. And so just super cool to see all of you come together, working together on such a great event. And man, people are still talking about that, even with the other recent 5Ks that have taken place and have done really, really well as well. Man, there's just something really cool about this one. And just the way that everyone came together. Tell us a little bit, let's back up the train here. Whiskey Run, why on earth is it called the Whiskey Run? How did that come to fruition? And what's the name all about to our listeners or people watching who don't know?
So the Whiskey Run, it's based off Founders Week. I guess they've had it in the past years, just I'm guessing they didn't have I guess running wasn't as big, I guess. I guess this time they found the perfect man to run it. I hate to say it like that, but that's what it was.
For sure.
So Whiskey Run, it's where the prohibition of alcohol. So back in the day, they would have to walk 5 miles to Ford and purchase their alcohol because it was illegal here in city limits. But I mean, that's what they named it. I mean, everybody was like, because I myself, I've been 5 years sober from alcohol, and everybody was like, "You named it the Whiskey Run? Does that mean you're gonna be drinking?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm far from drinking, But it just the Whiskey Run was so. It was just the perfect name, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it makes sense with the culture and just a nod to the heritage and history of Dodge. And so it really is not a whole lot more than that. But yeah, man. So another awesome aspect of what you did with regard to the 5K is, man, you really upped the game in terms of the term that runners know as swag. Those medals, man, are no joke. For a marathon, those are legit, but those 5K medals were legit. The shirts were on point. Like in the prizes to the age category, I won. I think I placed in the old fart division, and so even the little plaques, man, like super cool. Like you leveled up on the swag. Tell us a little bit about what went into the thinking for that.
Like I said, I had the vision. I mean, everybody either goes for a nice, beautiful medal, a nice shirt, a plaque. I just like I said, I care about people. I care about runners. I know running is very difficult, and if you're out there doing it, you deserve the best. And why not push people to do better for something good? I think I just invested a lot and everything into it, that I want people to be able to feel the energy. And I think that's why people are still talking about it, because they got a nice medal. They got themselves a nice shirt. I see everybody wear the shirt like it's just a going out shirt, and I love to see that. I guess that's what I love. I love people. I love people, right? You see? I noticed it this morning too.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's what it's all about.
What an incredible, man. And I really appreciate, it's one thing to put on a race and try to get as many people to sign up as you can. But it's a whole nother thing, man, to really take care of the people that show up. And man, it's one thing to make those promises and to talk that talk, but it's another to follow through on it, man. And you did. And man, and to you and your crew, like just the excitement about running, and it wasn't something that just started and everyone got excited about for a little bit and sort of fizzled away, man. You're now in year 2 of running culture, the running club that you started, and man, it just seems like it's continuing to grow. Tell us a little bit about what the summer's been like for running culture. And then really just what's on the docket? What are you dreaming about?
So this summer, it went very well as well. So I offered 5K Wednesday trainings with running culture out here at the YMCA leading up to the 5K Whiskey Run. So I think that's why a lot of people hyped up and loved it as well, because they had someone to train with. They ran a 5K even before showing up to a 5K that was offered. I mean, it just went so well for us this year. Everything just connected. The dots connected. It seemed easier than last year. Just people talking about it. I mean, little businesses, big businesses being able to reach out and help out. Everyone connected so well. It just, running cultures this year was, I mean, in my eyes, we're 2 years ahead. We did one of the biggest 5Ks out here. Yeah. I mean, they hyped up a lot of people. People are going out of town to run. When did you hear that? Now people are paying to run, I remember people used to make fun of me for paying to run. They said the streets are free to run. I said, it's different now. I think me showing up Wednesdays and having our runners show up Wednesday, encouraging everybody else, it just created a big running community, not just for me, not just for running culture, but for everybody else, the towns, the outside towns, the new 5K showing up, benefits for people, it just, it's just all overall, one person can make a big change. I think that's what I always put in my head, you know? And it maybe not be me, but if I pour into someone else, that somebody else is going to pour out to somebody else. And that's how running culture has started, and that's how it keeps growing. Just people's own experiences, you know? So I always try to give everybody a great experience, even the first time they come out here, because that great experience, they're going to carry it on and move it on to someone else. I mean, we got about 10 marathoners in our group. Who would have thought that, you know? And it's just spinning one into another, and then that person brings in another person, and it's just a commitment that's hard, but you'll end up loving at the end of the race.
Yeah, man, that is so true to know. As a runner, you're not just there as a participant, but you're a valued participant, and that was very reflective in the whiskey run, but also on those Wednesday nights with running culture as well. Just the support and the encouragement, and one of my favorite things that is a part of those that has just become a staple on those Wednesday nights is, you know, as the leaders and maybe the more elite and faster runners that are at the front of the pack, as sort of we're on that out and back course, as they make their way back, they're high-fiving those runners who maybe are struggling a little more, or whose pace maybe isn't quite as fast. And so it's just a huge encouragement. And like everything that running culture does, there's community involved in it as well, whether it's before the run, during the run, or even after the run, where there's popsicles and watermelon and water and what have you. Just an incredibly positive culture. And Sergio, I think it's no secret to you, and I hope it's not, that you should know that people are most definitely taking notice in the community. Even the people who aren't runners, you know, it's nothing for me at a church on Sunday or at church on Sunday for, you know, someone to ask, what are all those people doing running on Wednesday nights? And just the opportunity to share with them a little bit about what you're doing and your vision and how it's grown. And I don't think it's a secret that the community leaders have taken notice as well. I mean, we see just sidewalks now going up everywhere, man. And I have a hard time believing that that's just coincidence.
Yeah, man, everybody always talks about, I'm like, man, they're like, we never seen runners until you started running. I'm like, man, I guess it's just spreading the word and spreading the wisdom and spreading the love of running. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of sidewalks come up. We're excited for that. We love that, man, because, you know, as a marathoner, man, this town doesn't have enough space for us to run. You know, sometimes we be running in some creepy places, some small spaces. I mean, sometimes we get some negative reactions out of it, but they just don't understand the adrenaline we got going, the mission we have. Now, you know, when you train for a marathon, the race isn't the big race. The race is throughout training, you know? You find the time. It's 1 a.m., it's 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 6 a.m., you know, 3 p.m. It don't matter the time. Whatever time you have, that's the time you have to run. And unfortunately, sometimes we're in some people's way. And I mean, sometimes when the mission is there, you know, you'll put your body through it, you know? And I think these sidewalks are a great addition for us, you know? Many people don't like them. Half of them do, half of them don't. But you got to get up there and enjoy them sidewalks in order for you to really appreciate them, you know? I appreciate every sidewalk out here now.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. And you make such a great point, Sergio, and I think this often gets lost. I think we put all the focus and all the attention on one day, the day of the race, and how that goes, and we sort of evaluate everything based off of that as a runner. But the reality is, and a former coach of mine, Jamie Hagan, who is really, really good with positive encouragement. And I'll never forget something she said. She said that the race is the celebration. The hard work, the real race is done in the training, in the wee hours of the morning, or in the dead of the afternoon, or in the evening, as, you know, as husbands and dads, and as people who have jobs, you know, like sometimes it's not as easy as just saying, well, I'm going to run at this same time every single day. It's like, sometimes, no, you got to run when you find a window, or you make a window. And so that's really where, as you say, yeah, man, that's where the work comes in. And the race is a celebration, whether it's a 5K or a marathon or an ultra, you know.
And I think that's where the mental part, I tell everybody, that's why the last 6 miles is a mental part. And you build up the mental part by being able to go out there and make that run, you know, being out there and being able to balance family and training, you know, your kids. Being able to balance all that builds a mental toughness that people will not understand unless you run a marathon. You build that mental toughness so much that there's such thing called as the marathon blues, and that's depression after a marathon, you know? I never believed in that until it happened to me, and I was like, man, I got to get out of this funk. It's hard, man, because you're so dedicated to one thing, you're so disciplined that everything else is just, let's say, but irrelevant, because you're so locked into a mission, and once you finish it, you're like, what's my life now? That's why I encourage everybody, man. If you can do a marathon, at least once in your lifetime, go for a marathon. Hate it or love it, go for it. Because it'll help you throughout life and everything.
For sure. So many different lessons to be learned in that process, not just the day of the race and the race, but the process as a whole. I know, Sergio, I've experienced the marathon blues as well, and I know several friends and followers have as well. So I always try, not to perfection, but I always try to have my next race lined up.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times people will ask, so what's next? I'll find myself in the hotel after that marathon that I just finished asking, okay, I got to get ready. What's next? And sometimes I have to remind myself to slow down, enjoy the moment. But I want to ask you this question, Sergio. I know it's been a very busy summer for you, and I know you shared with me a little bit in passing the other day, but outside of running culture and outside of the Whiskey Run and just the busyness of the summer and local 5Ks, racing-wise, what's next for you?
For me, the next race would be Wichita. We're going to go out there and shoot for the Wichita Marathon. I won a PR at a 350. Hopefully that's my PR for Wichita. Me and a group of guys. Well, the group that runs marathons with me, they're going to go out there and running. We're hoping Andrew, one of our fast runners, he qualifies for Boston out there. So we're going to go join him and do that with him. We got another few that they're going to Dallas to do the ultra. I really wanted to do that, but I think I want to get one more marathon under my belt. But that's the goal, an ultra marathon.
Yeah, for sure, man. The ultra is a completely different animal than marathon training. And I'm looking forward to that one day. But today's not that day. So it's going to be marathons for me for a while. So Sergio, I know it's been a crazy, busy, frantic summer for you with running and just the explosion of what's transpired this summer. I think growth probably beyond anything you or most of us could have imagined. And as awesome as that is, I know along the way that there's lessons to be learned. And so what would you say maybe a valuable lesson that you've learned this past summer has been that you would pass on to someone else in the running community?
Don't underestimate yourself, because I feel like I've done that a lot. I'm a very confident individual, but even myself, I underestimate myself sometimes, and I don't think that's good, because you're capable of more than what you think you are, especially when the people around you encourage you. I think that's when you realize, like, I'm worth more than I value myself.
Yeah.
So value yourself and get out your head and pedal to the gas and accomplish everything you want, because there's only one life, I think there's only one life, and you better enjoy it the way you want to enjoy it, especially if others believe in you.
For sure, man. And that is definitely a culture that has been created, and you've been a huge part of that. And like you said, we get one shot at this, and we want to do our best to live it with no regrets, and just to continue to be positive encouragement to those around us, as you have been to so many, man. It's incredible to see the culture that you have been part of building here in Dodge City in Southwest Kansas, man. And it's not just like middle-aged adults, man. It's littles to middle schoolers to teenagers to college-age students and right on up to the senior citizens, man. It's just been incredible.
People of all ages, all states, everywhere. I'm thankful to be able to connect with everybody and be able to help everybody out in some sort of way. It's either with a nice talk, a nice run, or just encouraging words. I think that's the most valuable thing out of all this. Just being able to communicate people in a positive way. We don't get too many positive outcomes nowadays, and why not build one?
That's right, man. Well, Sergio, it's been a blast, man. So glad you were willing to come back on and take a little time out of your day to join us. Always enjoy this. Looking forward to having you back on, and just looking forward to see how this running culture continues to grow in Dodge City. And man, for all of it, we say thank you, and thanks for joining us again on the podcast today.
Well, thank you, Dusty. I want to thank you. I want to thank Flex, Wit, everybody else that's been helping me, Rizzo's Barbershop, everybody else that's just been helping me and encouraging me. And I look up to you guys in one way, one way or another. I look up to it. Every little positive thing you guys are doing, and I try to gather that together and put it into running culture. Thanks to my team for coming out and always killing it with me. Thank you guys. Appreciate every single one of you guys, and hope next year is even bigger. That's for sure.
Right on, brother. We appreciate you as well. As always, this has been the Run Dusty Run podcast, where we continue to encourage you to keep showing up and keep going.